I was not meant to be living at 24 years. Life has taught me how to be resilient. I'm Kennedy Mutua, and this is my story.
The process of giving birth is painful, starting from the wave of emotions that hits a woman throughout her pregnancy, followed by the various hardships, and finally the pain of labor and delivery. We have all heard the phrase, children are a gift from God, but what happens when things don't go as expected?
I was born in the year 1998, and at that time my parents discovered I was disabled. Now that they didn't know what are disabilities, and in my village I was the only person born with challenges, so nobody knew what was that. So it was termed as a curse from now my family. So after that, my mom and my dad were like, they want to know more about that. And at 5 years, that's when they took me to hospital. I had something that had grown in my back. Now that spinal bifida, the knowledge that I have, spinal bifida is something that's an opening, but in my case it was not that way. So doctors did not know what that was, and they just gave me medication. I went back home. Then later we went back to Kijambe. Now it was realized it was spinal bifida. And I think that was now the start of my life now in disability.
Nature intends that the physical and hormonal challenges of pregnancy ensure the growth and development not just of the baby, but that of the mother. Every mother's dream is to deliver a healthy, normal baby. But what happens if you don't?
Spinal bifida is a condition that affects spine. You find that the victim is not able to control his nature, and maybe there's some part of his body are disformed. So now after I was realized with spinal bifida, at that time there were no these about medication. They were not that perfect, so they could just do the normal medication at the point that they could do.
Faced with physical challenges, the doctors decided to take Kennedy for surgery.
They decided to remove that thing in my back because they realized when because it was growing. So they said if it continues growing, it might bring issues. And after when they removed it, is when most of my challenges started.
A mother's love knows no bounds. Planting the seed to succeed, Elizabeth enrolled Kennedy in school where more challenges and hardship followed.
So my mom could carry me on her back to school, and later in the afternoon come for me. Like she was everything in her life. She was like, it was only me. She could not concentrate with anything. It was only me. So I struggled. I studied for like nursery school. My mom could carry me. When I was in class 3, that's when a cousin of mine, they had a bicycle. So now that I've grown in a way that I can be carried by a bicycle, so that cousin could be taken by mom every morning, could come carry me to school and back. Because she was ahead of me, she could just take me to school, then mom could come back for me.
After Kennedy's first surgery, a minor complication came, affecting his quality of life at that point.
That was too weight. I sent my legs disformed. Because of that, I had a wound, a small wound. It was just a small wound, but could not get healed. No matter what, I had used every medicine that mom could get, but it could not heal. So it got a concern. So mom had to take me to Gijambe where I was amputated. After I was taken there, that's when the doctor said I had cancer. Because of that, it had already developed to a point that it could not heal. So because of financial challenges, and nobody was ready to take that risk, because of still that was a risk to go amputate me with that, and there was no money at that time.
Despite tough financial hardships faced by the family, God performed a miracle by providing a job opportunity for his father.
He went to Olympia, so the medics, they were like now convinced at the end there will be something to pay for that. So the time I was to be amputated, now at that point nobody had already agreed. My mom was not in for the amputation, and even the family, they were not in for that. So when that indication was in bed, tomorrow I couldn't go for the amputation. And the doctor came at night, but mom said no, though it was already prepared for tomorrow. So we had to be sent back home for a month, but we stayed for 2 weeks. I had no other option. So for me, now without considering what others are saying, for me I was like, if that is what can make my life better, because I was really suffering with that leg, yeah? So I said, if that is something, is the only option that can make my life better, I was in for it. I was just positive about it, but now my mom said no. We went back to Kijabe, and now the doctor said they need the money. Now remember, we didn't say no. So they were like, hey, these people are not serious. So they want the money. Now that we had no money, they had to send us back. We went back. After we went back, now in my parents' mind, cancer kills. So they had to look for means to save my life. So we went to Machakos Hospital, and the doctors agreed. So when I went to theater, we didn't take long in Machakos. We just went admitted, and then the next day I was even ready for theater. So after kutoka theater, luckily enough, tulikuwa to 5 hours and then tuamke after the dawa imeisha. So after 3 hours, I was up. The others, I remember there was a girl, alikuwa na vanyo ya mkono. So after 5 hours, sorry, not yet, 5 hours, she was not ready, woken up. So they were like, he is already up, and she's not there. So they had to get her back to the theater. Yeah, so after that, after I was there for like 1 month. Then I went back home. I was just treating myself there, taking medication and all that. Now nikapona mguu, so ikakuwa I can use artificial leg. So I have to stay. Now I have wheelchair na niko na crutches. So nikakaa like few months, then I got artificial leg from my former MP.
After the successful life-saving surgery, Kennedy had to face life as a below-the-knee amputee. As a passionate and bright child, Kennedy was re-enlisted back to primary school, where he had to catch up with the other students.
I think it was 2010. I went back to class 4. But now that nimekuwa siyuko shule for a while, so I did not succeed. to go to another class. Now walimu wanataka kunipush now that because of my miaka and all that. So they pushed me to class 5. But in class 5, there was a school that had already started, an academy school. So when I was in class 5, I said no. Because now I had grown and I had some visions in me. So I said, no matter the age, I have to go back to class 4, to that school. It had only gone to class 4. So I had to go there and start class 4 there again, for me to catch up. I went back there. I started. And now the friends I met there, they were not new to me. They know me. Others, they just transferred from the previous school. There I was to that. So they was like, oh, I've tried. But for me, I feel like, no. Class 6 is when now I catched up. I can say our class, the class of 2015, ndio class ilianguka sana shule, that school. I was top with 316 marks, of which the previous year the first student and 386. So we were being top student. I was not happy because I had failed the school.
Despite being brought down by health complications, Kennedy got a new lease on life the moment he accepted his predicaments. His story continues after the break. This week on Crosstalk.
If you listen mostly to the conversation around church and politics, there's always been a school of thought of separating these two.
So the minute you're in church, you're in this sacred space that you can't be involved with the secular world. Let's keep ourselves safe and holy for heaven.
We're in the middle of campaigns. What are pastors offering? Design of prayer. After we pray then?
That's this Sunday at 8 p.m. Never losing hope, Kennedy trusted God to provide a school that would effortlessly accept him as a below-the-knee amputee rather than condemn his afflictions.
I did not even receive a letter. I don't know why. But now, my mom had information about Joytown Dika for disabled. So we went there, we asked for admission. I was admitted. And that's the time I was admitted in 2016, and that time is when now I can say my life changed. Because at that point, I was the worst student in terms of management of my condition. Now the school there is no sympathy in that school because it's a special school. So I was worst in terms of management. My parents know information about that. I remember I was only student from 1 using diapers.
Due to the inability to control his bladder and bowels, Kennedy's self-esteem was shaken, becoming a recluse.
From 1 nikakuwa the same way. Hakuna mtu ananijua bado, sijajulikana. Hata si attend hizo meetings za spinal bifida sijui what. You attend those. Sikuwa nataka. Because nilikuwa najishukia kwanza. At first nilipoenda hiyo shule, the first thing I did after our first term, the second term nikujichukua. Now I use diapers. I think I was 18 years and I'm using diapers. So I was like, apana, this is not life. So in Form 2, I befriended a teacher. So she was my friend. Akataka kujua my condition now that sikuwa open na any mwalimu. She was a December teacher. So nikamwambia my condition, she was like, you've been here for the last 1 year and you have never shared this with anybody. Okay. They told me that if you don't mind, we can help you with your problem. I said, how? She first introduced me to a group. We call it spinal bifida group, SP. That time we were calling it SP. And in the group, I was the worst student here because I was the only student using diapers and all that. So nikakuwa rafiki na mwalimu na mimi nilikuwa kierere pia. So ukapata nataka kujua mbona kama we are all have spinal bifidas, you are saying you don't use diapers. Sionagu kujikojolea, sisikiangi ukinuka. Yen mimi niko na hizo vitu. What do you use? I remember a point that nilipojua wanatumia nini, they were using something we call catheter and a medicine we call oxybutynin to manage themselves. So I remember at a point, na niliambiwa that that's something personal. Huwezi tumia ya mtu mwingine. So I was like, now aziko. How will I get them? I stole. Niliimbia one of my friends. Alikuwa na hiyo peke yake. I had to steal it. Now sijui kuitumia. Nikaimba nikaificha kwa sanduku. Nataka nikuwe nayo. I don't know how to use it. But nataka nikuwe nayo. So nikaona nateseka. Siku kwanza nikaona kikocholea. Nikasema hapana, hii kitu inamsaidia. So I had to go back to the teacher. Nikamwambia unajua ni mwalimu. Ni mimi niliimba catheter so and so. So please if nitamrudishia because nimeona what they were like azikuwa shule. Okay, huwa zinaletwa free. Ni free because the school is a special school they were providing. So nikampatia. So mwalimu akaona this person is ready to learn. They had to look for one for me. Wakaniletea, wakanifunza. I was using it. So when I started using it, it was not that easy for me. So I couldn't use it. Na insenito mkojo, I could bleed. Ningetoa blood because sijui kutumia. Then I insert, si venye inafaa kutumiwa. So it aged me. Nikayuka na nikasema it's better to nika nikijiojolea rather than I stayed in form 2 the same way in form 3. So nikakuwa nimejua kutumia that catheter vizuri. But pia I'm not perfect because pia kuna hiyo dawa backup ya hiyo dawa oxybutynin ndio unatumia ya kuenlarge bladder. So that one sikuwa nayo. So ikafika mahali nikakuwa pia nataka kuitumia. I had to lie. Ukiitumia they don't those daktari they don't just give you the medicine. You have to go through some process so that they give you. So I had to lie that have already gone through that so that wanifunze. One day to teach me bowel washout ya kutoa kinyesi because I could not manage. So they shown me nikaona hiyo ni upuzi. I ignored that one. But this one I really want to learn that. So they gave me the medicine, they trained me how to use it, and I started using it.
Borrowing from his life experience with guidance from the school chaplain, Kennedy decided to document his life's journey in a book.
I did the manuscript. I showed him. The principal also, she was very supportive. She went through my manuscript. This is a good one. So now the challenge was I don't have anybody to give me the funds. But they told me first concentrate with the studies as we know how to do. In Form 4, Sabina Chege. That time, I think she is even now. Moranga women rep that time. So she came to our school and I went and met her. I talked to her and she gave me appointment to go to her office. I went with the chaplain. We went talk to her. She said she'll give the money. So after finishing Form 4, now 2020, after I joined school, I met a lady who claimed to be a publisher. I talked to her. I shared our health, and she agreed. She published the book for me.
Just like Kennedy, many disabled and interabled couples endure ignorant and evasive questions and perceptions concerning their marital bliss.
So it came a time, like aliboeka na mimi. Now that tulikuwa tunatafuta mtoto tupati, in mind nasema mimi niko na shi, I'm saying I'm the problem because I'm the way I am. So I had to go for further medication. Nikauliza, could that be the problem? No. I went for 3 checkups. I'm not the problem. But here the girl in the house is not giving me peace. She's saying I'm the problem. When she was doing nothing. So I was asking her, you are doing nothing? Here the medication report is saying I don't have the problem. You are my wife then. If you are my wife, then I should not go to hospital alone. Let's go together. So she said no. I said, if you are not going and you want to stay with me, I'll not go for any medication. I'll not spend any money anymore. We'll stay that way without a child. I'll adopt a kid. She was saying, okay, well. In her mind, she was good. When it's Omesha, I'll be out. And it was okay. Then she was pushed by her friend. So we went. She agreed to go for a medication. We went. And the sad story is that she was found to be the problem. So we departed last year, October. And now I'm here doing well in my book, which is selling very well. I've done the 2nd edition of the book, which I'm believing that the government will buy the book because they went through the book and saying it's a good book, and they accepted to evaluate the book. They asked me 150,000. One of the guys paid for me 50,000. So I have a database of 100,000. That's what I'm trying to raise with the event that I'll be having for launching the book, for that, so that I can evaluate the book and all that. I'm also doing the 2nd book by Why Me. The 1st book, the title is You Can Change Your Pattern. It's about my story and the challenges we face as we grow and all that. It's a kind of bring awareness to society on how they can live with people with disability, especially those with spinal bifida, without interfering with their day-to-day life. Because I've realized that most of the people with spinal bifida, they are kind of being neglected in the society because of the fact that they're not able to control their nature and all that. So I decided to do a book on that. Now the 2nd book I'm doing is not about disability, but it's about life. I thank God because I also have now the 3rd book that I believe I'll start doing it after I finish what I'm doing on the 1st one. Then after doing the 2nd one, the 3rd book.
Despite all the challenges Kenny has faced throughout his life, he still has a positive outlook, encouraging others in a similar situation and to those supporting differently abled persons.
This time we are disabled. We don't use it at the moment. In fact, I'm using it because I'm just describing my story. But I'm saying there, when you call me disabled, we're not being good terms. And we even went ahead and shared with our CEO, the director Harun Hassan. We shared with him and even took it to media and talked about it. So we are no longer called disabled. Even we don't use this regular or irregular. We say able differently. Able different. We don't even say physically challenged or what, but able differently. Because I like our president at the moment, because there's something that he said and personally I've proved that to be true. He's saying that we were all born disabled, but only a few discovered their disability. I'm sorry to say so. I'm happy that I know my disability and how I can manage it. What about you? You have a disability that you don't know, that you should be working on that to know what is your disability, because I believe, as he said, everybody is born with disability, but a few, the likes of me, discover their disability.
He wasn't expected to be living beyond the age of 18, but through it all, God changed things around for Kennedy's good. However, in his journey of life, his friends have played a key role in seeing him enjoy everyday life.
He told me what he underwent all through that time, but I told him there is still future. There is still future, because when you accept yourself, that is where now you call yourself in a meeting, then you are good to progress. So after there, tukaenda hivyo, we finished 2020 ikaisha. So we got into 2021. That's where now he told me about the book, You Can Change Your Pattern. So I had now to assist him in any way. Even when we are in challenges, we share, then we help each other in any way. If he has money, if I don't have money, he can even support me, and me, I can even support him. You see, we go in one church, that is Jubilee Christian Church, and there we could walk.
I met Ken in church, so we go to the same church at JCC, Jubilee Christian Church Parklands, at the discipleship class. So I happened to sit just next to him, and you see, it's not good you sit next to somebody and you don't say hi. So I greeted him, and that's how our conversation began.
And a friend is that when you are in problem, he can support you. So I supported him even in the walking, because we can be walking, then there is that, unajua, he has not that stability. So he is walking, so you are there for him.
He is an author, so that has really encouraged me. He has gone beyond his situation. So people with disabilities are not burdens. You just need to pop in, help them where they need help, and it's not even every time like they require help. You just have to help them see that it's normal. Okay, it's something that you can learn to live with, and you don't have to be bound by your situation.
Let us accept these people in our society, because even the Bible says, stay with each other like brothers and sisters. So if we accept them, even them, they feel that comfortable. They are comfortable with us.
We hope Kennedy's story has inspired you. If you have a story you would like to share with us, kindly text us on 20316 or WhatsApp us on 0786 316 316 or email us at thisismystory@familymedia.tv, and we will get back to you.